Hey everyone, welcome to part 4 of software testing behavioral interview questions and answers. And in this part, I'm going to cover another 5 very important behavioral interview questions. Whether you are a fresher or an experienced candidate looking for switching the job or finding the first job into software testing, there might be some behavioral interview that come in the interview rounds, and how you are going to answer that. I'm going to cover all of those. So 5 questions here. So the first question that I'm going to discuss is, why do you want to work with us or work for us? Right. So different variations. So why do you want to join this particular company? So the answer will be similar. It doesn't matter if that is a different variation of the question. Second question that I'm going to discuss is, are you good at handling pressure or deadlines? Right. Very important question. Third question is, what is an ideal job for you? Fourth question, are you willing to relocate for work? Right. This is also very commonly asked. Fifth question, how flexible are you regarding overtime? Okay. So very commonly asked interview questions that I'm going to cover, so that it is helpful for you whenever you're going for the behavioral interviews or HR round. You can answer all of these questions very effectively. Okay. So the first question, let's go ahead and see the first question. Why do you want to work with us? Okay. Now, why do you want to work with us? You can divide this particular, or you can break it down into 3 very important parts. Okay. Now, the first part is basically research about employer and see how employer values align with your values. Okay. Now, every employer will have the values mission statement, right? So when you go through the website, you go through their values, their website, they'll have their values. You just try to see how they are aligning with your own values. Okay. For example, if you go to their particular website, you will be able to know their work culture, what sort of work culture is there, what people are saying about the company, right? The good things, bad things, etc. What services and products you like about that particular company, research about that, and then company's achievement and impact it's making on the society, right? So this is the first and foremost thing, researching about the company, what exactly the company is trying to solve for the society, what are its values and how its values align to yours. So you can specifically mention that the values that I've gone through for this particular organization align with my own values, and I believe in hard work and consistency. Myself and the company has been established for a while. You guys have been really consistent and developed and given some really good products in the market that are very highly valued by the customers, right? Your recent application released so and so has been very widely acknowledged by the audience, by the end users, and your recent achievement that you have already got from the government of India is absolutely amazing, and it's making a lot of impact, and you guys are making a lot of impact on the society. So something on a similar note, you can phrase your answer, or you can make your answer around that. The second important aspect to answer this particular question is, see how you see your long-term future with the employer, right? So why do you want to work with us? First thing is because your values, I like your values, I like your product, you are making good impact, right? That's the first thing. That's why I want to join you. Okay. Then the second thing is what I see, for what is in there for me in your company, right? That is also important, right? It's not just that I like you and I want to join you, right? It's just not that the case. So I like you, I like your values, your achievements, etc. You are a very reputed organization. That's the first point. Second thing is how my long-term future, how I see that my long-term future will be with you if I join you guys, right? So your organization is well known into testing space, both locally and internationally. And I'm sure that there are immense possibilities for my long-term future with your company, right? So I can see if I join you guys, because you have a wide exposure and presence all over the world, that could be one of the scenario, right? Or if it is a completely local organization, you can rephrase your answer accordingly. So because of that, I see that I have very good long-term future with you guys. So that is another reason I want to join you guys or work with you guys. Third important thing is explain why you are attracted for the role. Okay. First thing is the employer. Second thing is your long-term relation with the organization if you join them and how you see that you will be able to progress. Third thing is the specific role that you are applying for, how that role attracts you? That is another important aspect to mention in this particular question. So the role appealed me most because it requires strong testing and test automation skills, which perfectly suited with my current skills. Okay, so which is what I bring in, right? As testing automation is always evolving, so working with market leaders like yours, like you, will always help me to upgrade as per the latest market standards, right? So this is very specific to the role, that whatever you are looking for in the role, I already bring on the table those skill set, and I'll be able to help you guys in that particular space. Along with that, because this testing field is evolving field and you are the market leaders, right? Then obviously, if I join you guys, I'll be working in the cutting edge technology or latest technology and will be able to upgrade myself along with your growth. My growth is also tied up, right? So this is third very important point to mention whenever you are being asked question why you want to work with us, right? Now, do not try to make this answer very long. Okay, just research 3 key points that I have explained here. Research about the employer. Okay, just mention that your recent products and achievements really appeal me and really impressed me. Mention a little bit detail around that. Your values are aligned. You can pick 1 or 2 points from there. Second, you pick how you see your future long term, and third, you see or explain about the role, why it attracts you and your growth in that particular role. And that is good enough for, or good answer for this particular question. Why do you want to work with us? Why do you want to join our company, right? Any variations, the answer will be same. Now moving on to the second question. So second question of part 4. So are you good at handling pressure? Okay, so very important interview question, because this is asked to understand how well you handle pressures, and will you be able to handle pressure if there is a situation wherein you are required to work in a stressful situation, how you are going to tackle, right? So first thing, analyze the situation, right? And then quickly think about the plan of action and then execute as per plan. These are 3 key steps, right, to answer this particular question. So how you can start with, yes, absolutely, I'm good at handling pressure. Okay, so you can start with something like, in many of my past projects, I have dealt with pressure, but instead of getting stressed, I focus and try to analyze the situation, right? So because stressful situations will always be there. They are when you are in the school, you are in the college, you face the stressful situation, you go through the exams, right? That is also a pressure situation, a stressful situation, that you have to finish your questions in 3 hours or whatever time duration has been allocated, right? So as a person, as a human being, you have always handled pressure, but then how you overcome that pressure and do not get stressed is what interviewer is looking for in the answer. Do you analyze the situation? Do you think about plan of action instead of getting stressed? Do you execute as per plan and get out of that particular situation, right? Or overcome that pressure situation. So that is the important 3 criteria or 3 steps that you need to break your answer into. So the example, in many of my past projects, I have dealt with pressure situations, but instead of getting stressed, I focused to analyze the situation and think about what can be the plan of action. Second point, right? What can be the plan of action to complete the work successfully in that pressure situation? Okay, so for example, release is just 4 weeks down the line and there are so many test cases to execute, right? So I'll create a plan of action. I'll analyze the situation that yes, we have 4 weeks to complete, and then what we need to do in order to complete this execution in 4 weeks, right? That's the plan of action. And then the execution as per the plan, right? So my recent project, the example you can put in there, my recent project has planned release in next 4 months, but suddenly due to compliance requirements, we have to release the software 2 months earlier. Okay, so this is real scenario of the pressure, how things change dynamically in the project, right? So initially 4 months release was there. Now we have to release 2 months earlier because of the compliance requirement. So there's the pressure situation that occurred, and I analyzed the situation. I analyzed the impact of this release date change, and started working with the updated plan, right? So rework with the new dates and update the plan We onboarded few more testers and successfully completed testing well within the new release timelines, right? So these three important aspects of handling any pressure situation will be really helpful, and this is helpful for any software testing interview question as well. Analyze the situation, create a new plan of action, and then execute as per the new plan of action, right? So absolutely, yes. Are you good at handling pressure? Yes, absolutely. In my past projects, I have dealt with it, right? So you can give this particular example or rephrase this example as per your own experience. Don't tell the answers that are experience of someone else. If it is your own experience, try to rephrase it in your own language as per your own experience, and then tell it to the interviewer, right? Do not by heart the whole answer that is written here and say same thing, right? Make it or change it according to your own situation when you have handled a pressure situation and came out of it. Break down the answer into three parts: analysis, plan of action, and execution as per the new plan. Okay, that's the second question of part 4. Now moving on to the third question of part 4. What is an ideal job for you? Okay. Now the idea of this question is that they want to determine few things about you. First thing is your passion and your long-term goals. Okay. So when they say what is an ideal job for you, that doesn't mean that you start saying absolutely disconnected job. That is the one that you are applying for, right? So for example, you are applying for software testing and then you say my ideal job is administrative services, right? That's highly unrelated. So you have to have some sort of correlation in this interview question that your passion, whatever your passion is there for software testing, reflects, and your long-term goal reflects, and you align your answer with the job that you are applying for and not something completely irrelevant. Okay, because if you do that, that shows that you are just doing this job for the sake of it, maybe just for money or something, but you are not actually passionate about this particular job, right? So even though you are not passionate about the job, you have to make up your answers. Okay, so you have to basically find some connecting point, some sort of passion, because if you don't like anything at all, right, money can't drive you. So there should be something very, even if it is very little, that drives you, that is your passion in that particular field, right? So now for a fresher, yes, you can say something like my ideal job would be to lead a team, right? In my college, I had an opportunity to lead the major project and I loved creating plan, assigning tasks, monitoring project progress, helping members with any issues, and ensuring we all are on track to complete the project on time. Okay, I understand that this position is entry level, okay, because you are applying for the fresher position. So you understand that yes, this is the position which is at the entry level, but I would be very happy to learn more on leadership from my lead and manager and help them in any required instances, right? Now this particular answer as a fresher is very relevant, right? Because you are applying for initial or entry level software testing job, and software testing jobs have lead and manager role as well. So you are saying that my ideal job is lead and manager because in your college you have had that exposure and you really enjoyed in successfully completing the project. So which is very correlated, right, to the job that you are applying, and then eventually 3 to 4 years down the line, the path that you are telling to the interviewer, that exactly correlates, and it shows that you are looking for long-term goals as well. You are looking for something, an ideal job which they already can provide you. They can grow you in that particular field and provide you that opportunity to grow, right? So two things, your passion and long-term goal both got satisfied here. Now if you are experienced candidate, right, so you can say something, my ideal job would be a full-time testing trainer and mentor, which is basically my personal answer, right? So I love teaching, I love training, mentoring people. Okay, so my ideal job is full-time mentoring and training. In my last position, I had an opportunity to lead few training instances for new colleagues, and I love preparing the material, planning the event, and performing the training. Okay, this position requires me to lead the team, so I would love to train and mentor the team members to progress in their career and learn new automation skills, which will be extremely beneficial for organization to get the new clients as well, right? So it's kind of a win-win situation for the organization if I train the team, which is my passion and my long-term goal as well. And every company has these training opportunities as well. So even though I am applying for a test manager or director position, my ideal job is to train, to teach people, right? To mentor people. So that is an ideal job for me, but that is also very correlated. Even though I'm a manager, I'm a director, I still can teach people testing. I still can teach people automation, right? So I can teach the team about testing, automation, agile, and different. And in my past organizations, I have always been taking classroom trainings, right? So that role is kind of add-on bonus for the organization, that they are hiring a manager or a director, and they are also getting a bonus because of your passion and long-term goals. They're also getting a bonus of a trainer, that the person is passionate about the training, and the person will be able to help in any of the training needs that are required for the team and across the organization if there is any such need. So for this particular question, what is an ideal job for you? These are some of the answers if you are a fresher or an experienced candidate, right? Modify these answers according to your situation and your experiences, right? These are just examples to show you that how you are going to answer on similar lines to the interviewer. Now moving on to the next question, are you willing to relocate for work? Very important and commonly asked interview question as well. So there can be different answers based on your current situation. Okay, if your current situation is such that you can relocate, answer will be different. If your current situation is that you cannot relocate, then you should be answering in a way that you deny in a proper way. So how to deny the relocation possibility as well, I'll explain that. So if, say for example, you are willing to relocate, so you can frame your answer in multiple ways, right? So first version, I'm very excited about this opportunity and confident that I'll be able to bring in a lot of value to the team. I'm definitely open to relocation and would like to know more details on relocation arrangements, right? So this is first variation. So you are first thing, say that you are really, excited about the opportunity, okay, and confident that you will be providing a lot of value. If you are open to relocate, you know that when you go even before you go for the interview, right? So if you're open, yes, absolutely, I'm open for relocation and would like to know more details on the relocation arrangement. Second variation, I enjoy living in my current location. So I enjoy living in Melbourne, and if I have a choice, okay, I would love to stay here. However, if need be, I'm open for relocation for this particular opportunity because this is really exciting opportunity and I'm confident that I'll be able to bring a lot of value to the team as part of this particular opportunity, right? So with the second option, second variation, you are willing to relocate if there is no option left or there is no local option left to work in the same city. So but still you mention that if there is an option to work from the current city, you will love to stay here and not relocate. But if there is a need that no, there is no other option, you have to definitely relocate to some other city, then you are also open to relocate. So the second answer is a different variation wherein you give an option to the interviewer that if they have something locally where you are at the moment, they'll provide you there itself. Or if there is no other option, then you are happy to relocate, right? The second scenario is that you are not willing to relocate, right? So you are not willing to relocate at all. It doesn't matter what happens, right? So how you are going to deny? So I'm very excited about this opportunity and joining your esteemed organization. However, due to my personal commitments, I won't be able to relocate, right? So you can specify any personal commitments, your kids, family. So according to your situation, your obligations, you can update the answer. and mention that you won't be able to relocate. Even though you are excited to join the company and everything, you won't be able to leave this particular city and move to a new city and start a new life altogether. Okay, so these are two variations, and based on your willingness and ability to relocate to new workplace, you can answer accordingly. Okay, now moving on to the next question. How flexible are you regarding overtime? Okay, so overtime, working extended hours is another very important interview question. So what interviewer or company wants to know, will you be flexible to extend few hours or work during the weekend if there is very critical need, right? So no organization wants you to work extended hours every day or weekend. When they ask this question, the reason is not to ask you to extend 2 hours, 3 hours every day, right? It's just on a need basis, and most of the organizations will provide you compensation as well. Okay, but for 1 or 2 hours usually you just have to extend. So they just want to know how flexible are you. If there is a requirement, there is something critical, will you be available, or you will just say no, time is over, I'm not going to work, right? If you are that sort of person. So if you are that sort of person, then company can decide whether they want to hire you. You are the only available candidate, or they have other option to choose from, right? So they can decide on that. So interviewer wants to know if you're flexible and will be available if needed, need be in the future, and the answer can be updated as per your current circumstances. For example, I am flexible to work extended hours if project needs my support. Okay, my priority is to learn more, and I am totally flexible to put extra effort and hours if needed by project. Okay, now if you are a fresher, your answer will mostly be yes, I am absolutely flexible to work extended hours if the project requires. My priority is learning and growing initially in my career, and I am absolutely fine with extended hours, not a problem. I am very flexible. Okay, if you are a fresher and you put the boundaries, you are actually limiting on the opportunities that are there, right? So if you straight away put that no, I'm not flexible, I won't be working on the weekends, right? So companies will be really hesitant to hire candidates like these, okay, who are strict that no, I'm only going to work 9 to 5 and no more seconds over that, right? So you have to make sure that you put the answer in a proper way so that it doesn't hamper your selection process. Second format for experienced candidate, mostly if you, even though you are experienced candidate, in terms of flexibility, doesn't matter, your answer should show that you are flexible, right? You can put a little bit boundaries, which is the second variation. So I'm flexible to work extended hours during weekdays and support in any possible way I can. Okay, so you have mentioned weekdays because you have some commitments in the weekend. So the next part, however, I have personal commitments during weekends and might not be able to provide regular support during weekends. So you are clearly articulating that you won't be able to provide regular support if required by this particular job role over the weekends. Okay, the third point, I can still work out some time in weekends if there is something very critical which needs my attention. Okay, so you are putting a specific sort of, you are saying that yes, you are flexible to put extra hours during the weekdays. That's absolutely fine. You are being honest upfront. In the weekends, you have personal commitments. Most of the people have personal commitment. You can't work each and every weekend if you are working full 5 days, right? So you are putting the right expectation in front of the interviewer as well, that you can't work because of the personal commitments in the weekends. However, you are also mentioning that if there is something very critical that comes up in the weekend, I am absolutely fine to reschedule my personal commitments and time accordingly and work some weekend if there is something very critical which needs my attention. So you are kind of showing the boundaries as well as your flexibility, that yeah, if there is something very critical, I am not hard and fast that I am not going to work. Okay, so this is second variation of answering how flexible are you regarding overtime. Okay, so this is the last question of part 4, and in the next part, in the part 5, I am going to cover another 5 very important software testing behavioral interview questions and answers. So that's all for this particular video. I hope it was helpful. Thank you very much for watching.